trying to score. Trying to score so hard. It was ridiculous.
It was a ridiculous
play. Was ridiculous.
Plus, they kicked the crap out of Carolina that day.
And that was a game that I think we both walked in and said, it was like, boy, this one feels weird. And they went out there. Didn't they drop a 50-burger on Carolina?
Yes, and if I remember correctly, McCaffrey was the only player that looked like he belonged on the field with the Niners.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They beat the brakes off them boys that day. Danny, San Jose, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to get Joe Shasky's thoughts on Brock Purdy, because last year he said he didn't want Purdy in the game. I don't know much about Purdy. I just want Jimmy and Trey to play, and I just wanted to get Joe Shasky.
At what point did I say that?
Last year when you were like, oh, we don't know much about Purdy, I don't want him in the game, I just want Jimmy Garoppolo, and I just want Trey Lance, because, you seen when he threw the deep ball last year against Green Bay, and you said, okay, I'm done. I remember that. So I just want to get...
Wait. They didn't play Green Bay. Dude, you're all over the place, dude. And number one, everybody...
Oh, he's talking about the preseason game.
The preseason game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shut it down.
Yeah, everybody... I watched Purdy at practice, and I actually came on the air the very next day and said... Yeah, I see what Kyle sees as a practice player, but everybody doubted him. The guy threw one touchdown, one interception, and completed 55% of his passes in preseason last year. Don't act like you saw Joe Montana. I don't know what dunk you're trying to have. Like, it's ridiculous. No one thought that Purdy was going to do what he did.
What's your question, Danny?
I don't know what your gotcha moment is.
No, I just wanted to know Joe Shasky's thoughts. That's it. That's all I wanted to know.
Thoughts on
thoughts
Purdy?
Are he was outstanding last year.
Thoughts in terms of what, though? Thoughts in terms of his play, the expectation, thoughts on what exactly with Brock Purdy?
Everything about Brock Purdy, because in the beginning of the season, I remember Shasky said that, so that's why I just wanted to get his thoughts.
Your thoughts are, here, let me help Danny out. What's your thoughts on Brock Purdy?
My thoughts are that if Brock Purdy doesn't stay healthy for the 17 games, we're probably not going to finish where we want to finish at the end of the year.
There you go.
That's my thoughts. My thoughts are that if we get to Sam Darnold, we're going to be in some trouble because I don't believe in Sam Darnold. I do believe in Brock Purdy. He's won some huge games. How could he have not won you over in that Seattle game, running the ball the way he did, with the game on the line, sticking the ball out near the first down marker, sliding for a first down? I don't understand how you couldn't be won over by that guy. The toughness of that dude. And then to see what he did in the second half against Seattle, dismantling them, having probably the best half of football a Niner quarterback has had since Kaepernick in the playoffs.
Right.
And I don't think that's me being over the top. I think it's just reality. Like, he was outstanding.
No doubt. I don't give it to Danny Call was. Listen, I'll say what I said. I thought the season was over once Brock Purdy played. I thought the Miami game was
A lot of people
fluky.
thought that.
I thought if Brock Purdy entered the game at any point, because I was on record saying, man, Iowa State, I watched it. I swear to God, go back and watch that Iowa game. I was like, this guy's not an NFL quarterback. This guy's not. He got benched in that game. And he was the last pick of the NFL draft. Vontae Hill didn't believe in Brock Purdy. But boy, when he lit up Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he went up there to Seattle in the hat and T-shirt game that I sat in the fifth row at and watched him with the broken rib play like that. And then to watch him light up Arizona and light up Washington in the second half, I said, and then the Raiders too. You know what? Maybe you got something here. Do I still think he's a franchise quarterback? This year's going to be huge to determine that. But you know what? I'm all in on the Brock train. I'm all in. He runs the offense. He's precise. His timing's good. He has a feel for the offense. And you know what? The players believe. That's the most important thing. Whether or not I believe in him, whether or not Shasky believes in him, whether or not our YouTube or Twitch or Xfinity Mobile text line, any fan out there believes in him, you know what's important? The players believe in Brock Purdy. Shanahan believes in Brock Purdy, and they told you that by naming him one of the 6 captains yesterday. So
I love it.
Whether or not I believe in Brock Purdy, that's yesterday's news. It's Brock's team. He's a leader in the clubhouse. Let's go. And we need to focus more on Brock Purdy because what he did as a quarterback last season was phenomenal. The Niners win the Super Bowl with Brock Purdy at quarterback. It could be one of the greatest stories in North American sports history, being the last pick of the NFL draft and leading a team to the Super Bowl. That's what we're talking about here. This guy came in and they averaged 32.5 points a game. There's no doubt that offense looked different than any other Shanahan offense since he's been here.
It would be right on par with the Kurt Warner story.
Right there.
I mean, I think that's one of the greatest sports stories of all time.
There you go.
You know, Mike Piazza gets a lot of love because he was like a 35th round pick and a favor from Tommy Lasorda to whatever his family to draft him, and he ends up having a Hall of Fame career.
Right.
You look at Kurt Warner, though. Kurt Warner, he went from bagging groceries to hoisting a freaking Lombardi.
Think about these stories. Terrell Davis, right? That's a great story, even though I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame. And that's all partly because Roger Craig. But Terrell Davis is a great story. Kurt Warner's a great story. Tom Brady's a great story. There's some great stories in history. You'd be the last pick of the NFL draft, Mr. Irrelevant. And all of a sudden you're relevant, and all of a sudden you're leading the team into the NFC Championship game, and then the next season the team says, you know what, we love you so much, Brock, you're going to be one of our 6 captains. You're going to be voted one of our 6. You play team sports. I play team sports. People out there play team sports. The captain's your team. You look up to them. You do. You know who they are. That's big time for Brock Purdy. So, yes, it would be one of the greatest stories in North American sports history if Brock Purdy led this team to a Super Bowl. You know what? I'm all in on the Brock train. I'm all in on this offense. Again, I've been so hyped up with Debo, Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Kittle. I can't contain my excitement on what Shanahan and company are going to do offensively this year with the weapons that they have with this line. I'm not concerned about the line. Colton McKivitz, concerned about him, but overall, I'm not concerned about the offensive line. I think this offense is going to hum. It's going to be one of the most explosive offenses in all the NFL this year. What's not to like? What's not to like right now if you're a 49er fan? Seriously, what's not to like? Bosa's back. Drake Jackson, Cleveland Farrell on the other side is going to see one-on-ones. You took Hargrave from Philadelphia. What's not to like right now?
I mean, every team's got a flaw here and there, right? Oh, slot corner. Oh, QB2. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's got these right tackle. No, they're deep as hell. I mean, look at them, B. They're super top heavy. They've got elite players across the board. The only thing with the Purdy thing, and I say the same thing about cornerbacks, running backs, wide receivers, for this team, it does feel like at times guys can fall out of favor, and things happen quick in the NFL where one guy looks like a superstar. I mean, we were talking about the last Pittsburgh Steelers victory in the playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. The last time the Pittsburgh Steelers made the playoffs, Baker Mayfield was dismantling them. Yep. Think of how far we've come with Baker Mayfield as an NFL, community when it comes to Baker. Baker was leading the Browns up and down the field, kicking the crap out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's one of the great moments for Cleveland Brown fans in the last 20 years.
No doubt.
And now he's quarterbacking his, third, fourth team? Mm-hmm. Well, he was at Carolina, the Rams, and now he's in Tampa Bay, right? So things do happen quick in the NFL. I pray that doesn't happen here. I think, if Brock Purdy stays healthy, I think he's going to have a great year. Information changed quickly. But the number one thing, though, is like Kyle himself. I just think the one thing that, I'm not skeptical, but I want to see it play out. When they have a stretch of bad games, how is the relationship and the dynamic going to go between Kyle Shanahan, his trust, his belief in Brock Purdy? That is the thing to monitor, because Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan had synergy late in that 2019 season, and it felt like it had all evaporated with a couple of drives against Minnesota, only to almost never be repaired.
Well, RG3 says something yesterday. Robert Griffin III, who's now working with ESPN, he says, Kyle Shanahan's a control freak. That's something that we need to monitor. He's a control freak. So will he freak out if Brock Purdy loses control of the offense? Because a lot of people think, quietly, Darnold's here for a reason. And Darnold has elite arm talent, according to a lot of those people down there in Santa Clara. We shall see about that. Let's go to the line. So I'm gonna hear from Niner fans about this big-time Bosa deal. 5 years, $170 million, $122.5 million guaranteed, eclipsing his brother Joey Bosa, who he's making $22.5 more than Joey Bosa in guaranteed money. We're going to hear from Mama Bosa in just a second here. But, Jacob, what's happening?
Money time!
Money time it is.
What's going on?
What's
going on, guys? Are we not hyped right now? Are we not hyped? I mean, we got dudes calling in. I don't know who put sour milk in that guy's Cheerios, but this is NFL season, baby, starting today.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Niners are stronger than ever, baby. We're going to have the number one defense in the league again because we got Bosa, baby. Defense wins championships, and I rock with Purdy all the way. Purdy is our guy. He's going to make our offense hum. Man, I'm all in on Purdy. I drafted him for my fantasy team. My name for my fantasy team is Purdy Fly for a White Guy. We got this, guys. We got this. We should be nothing but hype. NFL season today, baby. We going to hear the roar of the crowd. We going to hear the helmets clapping.
Let's go.
Let's go. Pass to Debo. Pass to Ayuk. Pass to Kittle. Give Hand that thing to McCaffrey. Let him get a 45-yard run for the touchdown. Let Purdy pass to everybody. We got these Niners, baby. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Let's go.
That's the passion I'm looking for. That's the passion I'm looking for. We're
Purdy
4 days away from week 1. Little Matthew, my neighbor,
That
who's
might
a big,
be one of the funniest team names I've ever heard.
Yeah, no,
that is
the guy's on
hilarious.
fire right now. That's the type of passion that I'm looking for. Week 1, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a franchise that's had me, Joe Green, Lance Stallworth, Lynn Swann, Terry Bradshaw, Franco Harris, Rocky Blyer. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Just hard hitters, Rod Woodson, Cardell
Cedric
Lake.
Wilson.
Come on, man. Why would you ruin that bit? The
Ex-Niner.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Come on, man. Harmon, where's your passion at,
He won a
Shasky?
Super Bowl with
Harmon,
them.
Danville, what's happening? Let's go. I'm feeling that guy's energy down there in Cutthroat Valley.
Vontae, Joe, how's it going, fellas?
What's up, Harmon?
Man, hey, Vontae, sorry I missed you at Fieldhouse last week. Dude, I wanted to have a pint with you, but I was traveling for work. But
All good.
Look, you said something that I loved. It is a great time to be a Niners fan.
Hell yeah.
I agree, man. I remember about 12 years ago, I was in college up in Oregon, and I was reading an article in the Chronicle. It's Mike Nolan, Singletary, referencing how they're, go to the spread or basically stay with the eye. And those are pretty sad times for Niners fans. We signed Nick frickin' Bosa to a 5-year extension. We got Purdy rocking. We got McCaffrey. We got Debo. We got dogs out there. It's our year. We're about to beat the Birds. We're about to win the bowl. And that's it, man. So good time to be a Niners fan. Appreciate you guys. Go Niners.
Go Niners. Great stuff. Go Niners. 888-957-9570. I got the boss man in the back. He's fired up here. Again, if you're a 49er fan, what is there not to like? What is there not to like? Your owner's spending money. Just like Joe Lacob. Jay York is spending money. He spent $80 million yesterday. All right? What is there not to like? Trent Williams is here. Warner's here. You got premium players at multiple positions. The top of the top. The elite of the elite. What is there not to like? And you're playing the Steelers in week 1 with the terrible towels. The home of Rod Woodson. All right? The home of Bam Bam Morrison, Barry Foster, and Jerome Bettis. Willie Parker. Come on, man. You know I can pull names out here. Let's go. What about Bubby Brister? They live, eat, and breathe football out there in Pittsburgh. They're so fired up. We had a roaster yesterday saying, man, they're fired up in Pittsburgh. Why are Niner fans so worried? You should not be worried anymore because Big Bear arrived last night at 9:58 at San Jose Airport saying, I'm ready to go. Let's go win some games.